welcome to this explainer. Okay, let's dive into this. We all carry this incredibly powerful little device in our pockets, right? Every single day, we use it to stay connected, to entertain ourselves, to figure out where we're going. But according to the source material we're digging into today, this exact same device has the potential to absolutely unlock your language fluency. We're going to explore how you can transform that phone you already own into your ultimate English classroom. It's this brilliant concept called pocket learning, and the best part is it requires absolutely zero extra equipment. It's just a shift in how you use the screen that's literally already in your hand. But before we get into the actual strategies, we really have to ask ourselves a pretty honest question. Is your phone a distraction? I mean, think about your daily routines. We all have that universal habit of mindless scrolling, don't we? You open up an app just for a quick second and suddenly, bam, an hour has completely vanished. It is so easy to view our phones just as pure entertainment or honestly as total time wasters. But what if that exact same impulse to grab your screen could be the very thing that helps you master a new language? For a lot of us, phone time just equals hours wasted scrolling through social media. But our source material points out a massive, massive potential here. Your phone can actually become your greatest language instructor. It's not about throwing the phone away or going on some extreme digital detox. Not at all. It is about taking those exact same hours you might normally spend passively scrolling and intentionally redirecting them. It's a complete paradigm shift, moving from mindless consumption to active education, right there on your device. So let's move to and see how this builds into our first actionable strategy, Pillar 1, the power of reading. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, okay, how much time is this really going to take? Well, you only need 20 to 30 minutes each day to make a massive impact. The text specifically highlights this super attainable number. It explains that in just those 20 to 30 minutes, you're simply reading short English articles, maybe some quick stories, or literally even just social media captions. Instead of scrolling right past a post, you stop, you read it in English, and you actually comprehend it. It's such a tiny fraction of your day, but it completely replaces empty scrolling with focused, productive learning. And the ultimate goal of that daily reading time is incredibly simple. Every single new word builds speaking confidence. It's actually fascinating how this source connects reading directly to speaking. You see, reading isn't just about understanding the text on a screen. It's about acquiring the actual building blocks for conversation. When you read those short articles or stories, you're constantly encountering new vocabulary, and every new word you learn becomes a tool in your toolbox that you can use later in a real conversation. The more words you know, the more confident you're going to feel when it's time to open your mouth and actually speak the language. Which brings us perfectly right into our next strategy, Pillar 2, active listening and mimicry. The source makes it exceptionally clear that listening on your device is just as crucial as reading, and it gives us this really specific 3-step methodology to do it. First step, you watch English videos with subtitles. This beautifully bridges the gap between spoken and written words. Next, you repeat the sentences out loud. You are physically training your vocal cords here, not just thinking the words in your head. And finally, you copy the speaker's pronunciation, really trying to sound exactly like them. By following this flow, you are literally transforming a standard everyday video into a highly effective active learning session. Look, nobody wants language learning to feel like a tedious, exhausting chore, right? The source explains that the more you actively listen through your device like this, the more natural the language will actually begin to sound to your brain. Because you're constantly exposing yourself to the rhythm and the flow of English, your speaking skills naturally improve. That awful feeling of hard work, it gets completely replaced by intuitive, natural speaking improvement. Honestly, it won't even feel like you're forcing it at all. So we've covered reading and we've covered active listening. But there is a final, absolutely vital component that glues this whole mobile learning strategy together. Pillar 3, the secret ingredient. So the crucial point is, consistency is the real secret. This quote, directly from our source material, is arguably the most important takeaway of this entire explainer. You could have the most expensive phone in the world, access to infinite articles, the absolute best videos with perfect subtitles, but if you only do it once a week, the results are going to be pretty minimal. A daily habit absolutely trumps everything else. It is that steady, daily commitment to using your device for learning that actually wires the language permanently into your brain. And the beauty of this consistency is that it completely frees us from those massive barriers to entry. You absolutely do not need expensive courses, and you definitely do not need perfect grammar to start making real progress. You just need to learn a few new words, read a couple of pages, and practice speaking for a few minutes every single day.
It's really all about trading this idea of perfection and high costs for simple, daily, accessible practice that happens right on your phone.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it visualizes the ultimate payoff. Small daily efforts equal big improvements over time. This is literally the power of compounding, just applied to language learning. That 20 minutes of reading, those few minutes of repeating sentences out loud, yeah, they might feel super tiny on a random Tuesday. But when you stack those days together over weeks and months, those small daily efforts snowball. The source essentially guarantees that by consistently using your mobile phone this way, you are going to see massive, undeniable improvements in your English over time. We've seen exactly how your phone can transition from a massive distraction into your absolute best teacher through reading, active mimicry, and that real secret of consistency. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to take with you the very next time you pick up your device. What will your small daily effort be today? Are you going to read a short article? Will you watch a video and actually repeat the subtitles out loud? The classroom is already right there in your pocket. The choice of when to step inside is entirely up to you.